like anything um,
Mm.
in terms of outside of that. And I use that as an excuse even sometimes to
Mm.
that I'm training so hard for this that I can focus on this and not do anything else, which is true to an extent, but
It is true. Yeah.
it's not quite,
Well, I think it's a great point you brought up, because I think that is the reality of somewhat the situation. Man, it consumes a lot of your energy,
yeah,
right? And if you're consuming all the energy, and sometimes that energy needs to be diversified to whatever it is, I don't know, like filming content, or maybe
right.
it's doing lead generation, which I guess is kind of filming content at the same time, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah, definitely it's a grind. And I think that's something we mentioned last week, would have been last week, about like people who like Floyd Mayweather and all them, like they build their brand at the same time training full time, man. It's like, holy shit, that's why only a very few people tend to be quite successful in that space, because it's fucking hard, man. Trying to be an entrepreneur and then trying to be a full-time athlete. I mean, it can be done, but there needs to be a lot of high levels of discipline and organization.
Right. The organization is a big part that I lack 100%. And I think that's why I'm excited to be done with Worlds, so that I can really try to dial in that organization and get a structure throughout the week. And I feel like once I have that structure, built in and really habituated to it, I think things will just kind of flow a little bit easier, and I'll be able to add and take things as I go and figure out what works a little better,
Yep, for sure. Hey Tim, what's your experience on this, dude? See if he's on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a while since I've competed, and I'm not
Yeah.
doing it to the level that like what Nick's going through right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just even remember in high school, like it was really hard, like especially at the end of the week, like to come home and like usually, I mean, our practices usually went from like 3:15 to like 6 or so. So
Long
to
time.
like come home, eat, shower, and then like be expected to do some homework. Like I did have a lot of struggles at first with that, but it's just kind of like I think like having the schedule in place, like once I get home, I'm giving myself this amount of time to just like decompress, relax, and then I'll get as much work done if I can, and then if I have to, I usually opted for like going to bed early, and then if I still had stuff to do, like getting up in the morning, just because like staying up late and trying to work, it usually killed me the next day. So I mean, yeah, I just think like scheduling stuff helps so much, and just kind of like holding yourself accountable to like what Nick's going through. It's like, yeah, he's exhausted, but like maybe if like you just like starts to set things up a little bit, or even before he goes to the gym, like he sets up things so like when he does get home, he doesn't have to do as much. Like some stuff's already done, like whatever it may be for.
Mm.
But yeah, it's definitely hard, especially with any grappling sport where it's so physically demanding, and especially jujitsu. I mean, it's not just like a physical game. It really is like a chess match. Like, and so yeah, it really can be exhausting at the end of those practices, especially what you're going through, Nick.
For sure. And something else that I would add, I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Huberman, and he's talking about
my man
dope, and he has so much knowledge, dude. I learned some mind-blowing shit today, but yeah, he talks a lot about dopamine and prolactin, and basically when you get that feeling of like I've accomplished something, like I did something good today, so now I can relax. I feel like I let myself get that just from training jiu-jitsu, and so when I get that prolactin or just that good feeling like I actually did something, it allows me to relax instead of like continuing to drive and do something else.
That's fucking great point. Fucking great point.
Yeah. Whereas I've realized that if I just come home and I don't let myself get that mindset to where like I've actually done something and accomplished it yet, if I force myself into that mindset, then I'm able to, you know, keep driving forward, do some things that I don't want to do, even though like I've already sat down or whatever for the day. You know, like I can force myself to get back up and just, you know, do little stuff like that. But I'm still working on that, obviously.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you there for sure. Yeah, because the drive, yeah, like I said, there's only so much energy, right, you have per day, and if that's allocated to jiu-jitsu, I mean, yeah, for sure. But I think that comes down to that structure, organization. What can you get done before jiu-jitsu? I find I experiment training in the morning, like early, like 6 a.m. Man, I just want to chill. Like, I just want to chill and fucking smoke a little bit of weed and read some books and stuff immediately after training. But if I get all my work done and then I get jiu-jitsu, then I can. It's like almost I have to stop work after training. That's a thing. Like, or it's creative work. You know, it's research. It's it could be podcasting. It could be something that's not high demanding of my focus, but something that I'm okay being distracted in that time as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still figuring it out though, but I definitely agree with you with the what is it? The dopamine and what's the is it not lectin? Is it? What's the other one?
I think
the
he said lectin.
Yeah, lectin. Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Prolactin.
Prolactin. Interesting. Prolactin, yes. Nice. What's been the wins this week, dudes? Like, what's been happening? Like, what's the wins? I know, Tim, you've been fucking killing it as per usual, dude, on that fucking TikTok game, and just slaying it, absolutely slaying it. Might have to get your fucking verified account soon, bro. At this rate.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, it was crazy. Like, because I think just a few days ago I was like hovering around like the 7,000 mark, and then I'd made a video, and like I kind of had a feeling that like, I mean, it wasn't like an informational video or anything. It was pretty short, and it's like I threw in some like flashy things in there, and so I thought people would like it. And I think like what made the big difference is because I've jumped from 7,000 to 23,000 now, and I think the one little small thing was there's just like right at the ending I included like follow for more, like, or follow to become like a functional human basically.
Call to
And
action.
I don't know if it was just that or people really did like the video, but I feel like just including that one little statement at the end was kind of like, because I saw so many people that like commented like, all right, yeah, I'll take a like a gamble on you, like I'll give you a shot, basically saying like I'll follow you and see what you got. And so I mean, I didn't expect obviously that kind of a response, but I feel like that's what TikTok is. You can never determine what it is that the people are gonna like, but once you find what it is, you just have to kind of cater to that. And so, I mean, maybe from now on, like once every week or two, I'll throw in a video where it's just kind of more showing off like the final progressions of ATG movements. Because I mean, there are the people that do like the informational content, but most people just don't have the attention span to sit through like a 30 to 40-second video, which is kind of sad. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's just kind of the state of TikTok, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's the reality.
Yeah.
How many followers you got now?
23,000.
23. Fuck, man. So you completely just blew up again.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, it had been like kind of consistent where it was like I'd say like 100 or so followers a day.
Yep.
And like maybe on a good day it was like 200. And then yeah, that one video, because that one video is like around like 430,000 views now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because like I posted it and I had to go do something. I checked back like an hour later and it was already at 3,000 views. And like I never had a video, even like my best ones that had really good responses. I've never had it where it was like that immediate, where it was like, holy crap.
Oh, Look at
Hey,
him.
Devin.
What's up,
Hey,
Gino? What's up, gents? How
What's
are you?
up, man?
look at him.
How you feeling?
Feel good.
Got the
Genuinely,
ACL
genuinely.
reattached.
Yeah, genuinely, I feel good. My mind feels sharp and clear. According to I spoke to the anaesthetist and he said that they just put me under the general anesthetic, put the nerve blocker in, and then that was it. They didn't need to use any other pain relief. So I think that's
Nice.
why I came through it feeling like really good. I didn't wake up feeling like groggy from anything. I did have a little bit of like tramadol in the last few days just to manage the pain, but nothing too excessive. So, and on the day I had the surgery, I had a deadline that I wanted to meet by 4 o'clock. So it meant that at 2 o'clock I had to switch on and go sharp. So yeah.
Good
Cool.
shit. Right, it's done now. Now it's the process of getting back to your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say the swelling's come down so much that the fucking dressing wants to come off. So
Wow.
it's good. It's good. It's good.
What's
I'm
the
happy.
surgery? Is it ACL reconstruction or?
Yeah, so he said that when they went in, both my lateral and medial meniscus had tears, so he's stitched those back down to
Nice.
give me more longevity, and he took a graft from my patella tendon, so that's why the scarring will be underneath here. I think he's cut from here to here, and he took a graft from my patella tendon and then built me a new ACL, which was attached like at either end by, they're kind of like these metal spiral screws that I think he rolls the patella tendon over and then he fucking puts them in place. So there's a little bit of metal in there that will be there forever. It's amazing technology. So yeah. That's
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that technology is just getting out of this world.
yeah.
It's
So
awesome to see your mindset with all this, Devin. I can just remember when I tweaked my ankle, how much I got down on myself, and to see you go through something like this, and it's been nothing. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it is a really hard process, but your mindset seems to be in the right place, which is really inspiring to see.
I'll share with you. So I don't think I could be in a better place. Like, so when my eyes opened in the recovery room, I had this like wave of euphoria wash over me that I can only describe as like joy. And my eyes were filled with, like I cried. I had these tears streaming down my face. And the nurse with a concerned voice was like, are you okay? Like, is the pain, are you in pain? I said, no, I'm okay. I'm really fucking grateful right now. I'm so fucking grateful. And how are you? How's your day been? How's your family? And she was like, they're really good. Thanks for asking. And we just cracked into a conversation. And yeah, bro, that was like, I just knew, like in that moment, like, I don't know, like it was just different this time for me. It's like when my eyes opened, I was like, this is all right. This is the beginning of the rest of my life, like
A new chapter.
surgery. Yeah. So the thing that I'll share with you that I had to get in by Friday is that last week I had a phone call from someone high up in management at the Warriors, which is the National Rugby League team here, and they asked me if I would apply for the academy strength and conditioning coach position. So I had to get my CV I had to get my CV and cover letter in before 4 o'clock. Now, I'm not saying that anything's guaranteed, but hopefully in a strong position to get an interview and then present my case for why I'm the change they need for the academy team. So yeah, that's what I mean by like, I just went back to my room. I think 10:15 a.m. I woke up in the recovery room. I went back, I had a few hours to chill. And then at 2 o'clock, I went back to the CV and cover letter, which I'd I'd done a bit of work on already. My friend had a review for me, and then I just tidied it all up, and it's from my hospital bed, hit send, emailed it off. So we'll see.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's good. It's good. So how about our boy Sam Quinn claiming the gold over at the fucking Europes?
Fuck, dude.
That's insane.
That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
That's great. That's fucking awesome. It's so cool to see.
It's like
And he did he say he was new to?
he just got his brown belt like a month ago, if I remember rightly. Like he just bounced back from like a knee injury, I think. Got his brown belt, and then he just went into this tournament and crushed it.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Who's fighting?
it's the UFC fight night today.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The main event is Walker. What's his name?
Oh, what? Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker versus Thiago
Sa-
Santos,
Fuck me.
And-
Jesus Christ.
and Kevin Holland's fighting Kyle Dorcas. And there's
Jesus.
another. Well, like the main card looks like it's going to be all finishers. It's just like they're all like killers, you know.
So I've actually trained with Kevin Holland a little bit. That's where I started my MMA training at his gym,
Really?
Bay Lane. And he's a goofy guy. I didn't like him for the first while. I really did. He's super confident and he just plays with you. He's honestly insane how solid he is. He just toys with everybody there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
He's got personality.
Yeah.
it's his lack of ability to get back to his feet once he's on the ground that's letting him down at the moment, bro. You know,
Right.
like he could have had, you know, he looked good against Brunson on the feet, and then as soon as he's on flat on his back, he just has nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
I know he's been working a lot with Hendricks on his wrestling. So we'll see how that is.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I feel like sometimes his personality is, you know, like sometimes it's a front for our insecurities. You know,
Yeah.
like, and he, you know, he truly embodies successfully the fake it until we make it.
Yeah.
That Amy Cuddy does a TED talk about that. And, and he's achieved huge success, but you know, to go that a little bit further, you know, that top 5 or whatever, you got to actually be like real. You know, you can't have those flaws in your game.
Oh dear.
Hey Tim, how has your the coaching wrestling been?
So that hasn't started yet. Preseason starts in a couple weeks. So right now I'm just kind of waiting for that to start. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm able to like start biking now with my ankle, so I've been like trying to just get my cardio base just so I'm not a complete like idiot in terms of just how out of shape I am. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really cool experience. Just like getting to work with the kids, and then also just like this will be like my first like official kind of like coaching job. Like I've helped out at like schools before, but like I'm just excited to be able to get in there and see what we can do with those kids, because they're looking like it's going to be a really solid group this year. So it'll be cool things.
Fuck man, that's really exciting for you, dude.
Yeah. It's just going to be cool. Like, because I mean, like the coach who's there currently, this is only like his like 3rd or 4th year, but since he's been there, I mean, the program has kind of done like a complete 180, because high school that I went to, we would always wrestle the school that I'm helping out now with. And it was always kind of like, we'd always say like, oh, it's more of it's like, I'm trying to think of the word, basically like that school was always like terrible. Like if you had a kid from that school, like it was basically like like a warm up match. Like, and so to see them like turning around the program where they had a few kids like place at state last year, it's really cool to see. So to be like a part of it I'm excited about.
Devin up and walking around like nothing, like he didn't have surgery.
Doesn't give a fuck. Fuck you and your knee surgery. I always like to add this question: is there any challenges you guys are foreseeing this week that you're currently working through at the moment? Like, let's say, even just to take that next step forward, or that 1%, that 1% change. Like, what is the challenges that you guys are seeing at the moment?
I would say for me currently, like with that one video doing really well, I've had like a huge influx of people that are like kind of like hitting me up on Instagram, and a few of them like just ask like really basic questions, so I don't mind like just like giving them like a quick recommendation. But I mean, for a few others, they've kind of like wanted more in-depth stuff, and like I've started to get better with it in terms of saying like, if this was something you really want to go into more detail about, if you really wanted like a more personalized kind of plan, like I'd be willing to work with you, but like it's gonna like cost something. And just kind of like respecting my own time and not just feeling the need like, oh, this kid's reaching out to me and I want to help them out, because I do want to help everyone out that reaches out, because it's cool to see. But
of course,
at the same time, I have to respect my time and not just like, because I mean, the other day, like I was like sitting down for like an hour or two trying to respond to a bunch of people, and I just kind of was like, I can't keep doing this. Like if it is gonna kind of be along this lines, I have to kind of be more upfront about, if you want more information, like we can have those conversations, but it might cost something. So and most people, like the ones who have wanted more details, and like I've said that, most of them have responded pretty good, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll definitely like hit you up later in the week about maybe doing that. And whether or not they do hit me back up, like that's fine, but I have slowly gone better, but I still have to improve upon it.
I guess it's repetition, right, dude? Like the more people you talk to, and I think it's like you're kind of developing your sales funnel now, really. Like as you build this audience, now this new challenge, which is a beautiful challenge to have, it's like, fuck, all right, like maybe I need a questionnaire, or like fucking I gotta sort this out and see what I can do, and I guess create this. I guess it's online coaching, dude. Like that's, I guess maybe. Yeah. That's what I don't know where else it's heading, but it just seems like people are asking you for help, and you would be doing a disservice to your audience if you weren't doing that. So it's a pretty exciting problem to have, man.
No, yeah, I realize that it's like a good problem to have, but it's still something like I just have to work on like each day.
Yeah. I guess it's that 1%, right? Like, what can you do just that little bit better than you did yesterday with that with the inquiries and stuff like that? And I think you naturally will get better at converting those inquiries into sales too. I think that's going to be a natural byproduct as well.
Yeah.
What's the theme coming through for you, Tim? Like, what's the common questions people are asking, if there is any?
Yeah, it's a lot of athletes. It's just kind of like what we see a lot with like people who like kind of gravitates toward the ATG. It's just young athletes who have had issues with, I mean, there's been a lot of injuries that I've learned about because kids will present it, and I'll kind of have to do some research as to what it is because I'm not familiar with it. But I mean, a lot of knee injuries, like shin splints, a lot of, which I've loved to see, a lot of wrestlers like kind of hitting me up and like asking, because I have some videos that are more gravitated towards wrestlers and them asking like, oh, are there any other exercises that you'd recommend? But yeah, a lot of it's just like young guys who are dealing with like overuse injuries, and they're just wondering like, can they get better, or is it just kind of something that they have to like mitigate like for the rest of their lives? And I mean, a lot of them do have like positive responses. It's like, yeah, if you like focus on the right things, like this can 100% get better. And so yeah, it's just a lot of inquiries like that.
Mm.
Can I make a suggestion then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you design? You're going to do this again and again and again. Why don't you write the perfect 12-week Tim Duffy zero program? Now, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday can basically be Ben's program, right? And then Tuesday and Thursday, you could add in a bit more content, I think, in terms of the upper body. And then also on the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think with the zero program, there's, you know, as I've explored with BJJ, there's a bit more room to involve like glute walkouts or single leg glute bridges. Like there's a bit more room for a BJJ athlete because of the hip variation. So what I'm encouraging you to do is like write your iteration of the perfect 6, 8, or 12-week program that you think would meet the general or common needs that are coming through. Sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then rather than, you don't even have to sell it if you don't want to, but you could get 10 people, of those people that contact, get 10 of them to beta test it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Get feedback from them. You know, say, hey, I've got a program that meets your needs. What I ask in return is constructive feedback. You know, if you're using True Coach or whatever. And then that means in 12 weeks, you have tested it, you have feedback, you will have been able to iterate it 3, maybe 4 times. And then, you know, like Lucky said, you have the funnel and other stuff sorted. And then you can start that same group that went through, then you can get them to test out your dense version of the program.
Yeah.
You know, because here's the thing, right? They're coming to you because they saw something from you. So what they actually want is the movement technique and review. They want you to, you know, like, so if you're using True Coach, for example, they can upload video of them doing the movements directly into True Coach. You can review the technique. You can build into that structure. You'll figure it out, whether it's like once a month you have a 30-minute Zoom catch up or what the format of that is. So I'm suggesting start with an ideal in mind. The ideal is going to change, but start with an ideal 12-week package. And then you have 2 price points. You have a monthly option or a 3-month upfront option. And that's it. Go on to Stripe. Get an account on Stripe. You're good to go, bro.
I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, that sounds probably like the best way I should be going about it right now.
Because right now you're being, because of the nature of the influx, you're being reactive. So rather than be reactive, be proactive. Decide what, and with that you'll know the target market that you can actually help, and then that'll make it easier to respond. You go, oh, this isn't my area, but why don't you check out blah blah blah? And then those that you can help, you go, I don't know, send them the link to your website, or, you know, say sign up here for a call, or whatever the process is, the onboarding process.
Yeah,
it just gives you clearer response channels. It's like, oh, that's not my specialty area, but check out this content and go and check out this person, you know. Oh yeah, no, this, I've had clients with this issue before. Here's the direction I suggest, and just be a bit ruthless at that point, you know, because it's your time, you know.
okay, I appreciate that feedback.
All good.
That's basically what I plan to do in the future too. So that's interesting. Definitely look forward to having those issues, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, and it's cool to see. I mean, like guys like Terry Physio, like he's really starting to like go crazy in terms of the TikTok. I've been seeing he's been having a lot of success. Um, and I mean, Terry is one of those guys who he's been posting 3 times a day for probably the past like 2 months straight. And for him to start finally getting the recognition that he should, because I mean, his videos are nice and short and there's simple exercises that everyone can do. And obviously, you know, he has like kind of the expertise background, which I think a lot of people like. But yeah, he's really been starting to do really well because every now and then I'll just check his account and I see that, I mean, he's close to, I think, 5,000 followers now. So it's cool that it's like it just continues to reemphasize what Nsima said. Like if you like have the consistency and you know you continue to just work on it each day, like it's bound to happen. Like you, it's like it'll happen.
Yeah,
So,
almost 5,000. He's got 4,766 at the moment. That's great.
yeah.
And he's
And
fucking
then I
yeah,
think,
he's posting a lot.
and then it was also who was it? Dan Jameson. I think his is like the low back project. Um, Within the past week or so, he's had a few videos that have gone in over. I think they're like 14,000 or 15,000 views, and he's finally starting to get the following. I think he's like, I mean, he was at like similar to me, like he was at the 40 followers, and now he's up to like close to 400 within the past few days. So yeah, it's cool to see a lot of the guys like who are like putting in the work that they're like finally starting to get it.
Mm.
Because everyone from like the ATG realm, like like our knowledge and stuff, I really do think is invaluable. That it will help a lot of people, and I think, and there's so many people that like will find my videos and they have no idea about Ben, and then I'll kind of like direct them. Like I also recommend checking out, you know, Ben Patrick, Keegan Smith, and I mean, it's like to us, it's like how do you not know about these guys? But they just have to find one of our videos, and then it opens them up to this whole world of training that has really beneficial impacts on their lives.
Mm. Cool to see it's working. It's really cool. Really cool that we're documenting the process of it all too. You know, 6 weeks ago, and then 4 weeks ago, and now it's like fucking. Now I got 23,000 followers and all this kind of stuff. It's really cool to watch that, and yeah, gotta my struggle definitely there's some days where I'm feeling super creative. I can film a whole bunch of content, and then other days like literally I just can't think of anything. And I think that's that importance of really just when the days you're feeling good, just film as much as you can. So that way on the days that you don't feel as creative, you've got that backup there. You can really use that to keep those 3 posts a day.
Yeah, like today was kind of one of the days where I didn't really feel like I was kind of debating whether or not to like, because I'm just doing it now where it's just one video a day, and I usually just do it kind of Monday through Saturday and then take Sunday off. But I was like debating whether or not to do it. But it's like you were saying, like a few days ago, I had recorded a bunch of stuff that I knew I could like just however I wanted to put the video together. But I had those clips already saved. So even though I wasn't feeling the most motivated to make a video, I still already had the majority of the work done. So yeah, I agree with you that just when you have those days of like you're just thinking of everything, like it comes super naturally, those are the days you really do want to like put in the work in terms of filming the content.
Yeah, it's super true. Mm. Mm. It's good, guys.
Would you say that that's your challenge, Lucky?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I feel like right now my challenge is to keep that 3 posts a day, because it's not, and it's also like the filming content's one thing, but it's also the time that it takes to edit the videos too, right? The editing takes some time. Again, it's a skill that gets better, right? Of course. So obviously the time that you spend editing videos will get shortened over through repetition. But yeah, it's like really, I haven't been successful yet on filming all content in one day and then edit all videos in one day. Sort of kind of like every day, it's a daily task kind of thing. So I'm still kind of figuring out as I go, but I do feel, yeah, that those days you're feeling good, really make that a priority to film all those extra pieces of content. So the days you're not feeling that, then you go, cool, I schedule, I don't know, maybe let's say an hour to edit 3 pieces of content. Could be less.
Yeah.
I think hours pretty reasonable. I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? Like if I let's say you had 3 pieces of content right now, cool, and then you have to edit them. What are you giving yourself? Are you giving yourself an hour, 2 hours, half an hour? What are you guys sitting with that? Because I guess that is one part of the process, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're saying, like the more you do it, the quicker you get at editing it. And then also, once you kind of start to find what people are liking, it's also easier to edit it in a certain way, because then okay, the stuff I was doing that time, it didn't seem people were really gravitating towards it, but they seem to like it in this format. And so, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's just repetition. Then so yeah, I'd say roughly for me, I mean, when I was doing the 3 videos, it was like an hour of like editing all 3 of them.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, because it's like when we did briefly talk about organization and having structure and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, at what part of the day am I going to spend at least an hour editing content today? And sometimes if you're filming content too, that's it's almost it's could be almost 2 hours of filming and editing a day if you were doing on a daily. Obviously you don't film every single day, but yeah, it's like 2 hours a day. What's 2 times 7? That's 14. It's only like 15 hours a week, really. And so it just shows you that yes, this is a great opportunity. It's awesome opportunity, and really just like as we're really seeing the results from this clearly. But it is a part-time job. Like you really got to be on it. You got to be engaging. You got to be responding back to message, because that's the thing. Then how much time are you allocating to responding back to messages? Because as you grow, more inquiries are going to come in and all that kind of stuff. People are going to comment on the posts.
Yeah.
So it really is that it's funny, this online space, and I guess as we're all navigating it through and building an audience right now, it really is like one part of the online coaching space. It's part of your job, and it does take a lot of the time. And again, it can be systemized, can be better. You can eventually outsource that, I'm sure, where you can start paying people to basically film you and edit your videos. Like I guess that's like a little long-term goal to consider, so you buy that time back. Yeah. But yeah, it's really one part of that as our jobs is concerned for online coaching.
Yeah, and I'm lucky that I was kind of like I fully admit, like I'm like I don't really have much going on right now because I'm waiting for this one gig to start. And so it's pretty much just like I do have a lot of free time to mess with this, which obviously not everyone has. So I was kind of lucky in that sense where it ended up working out. But yeah, it makes me appreciate like just like content creators so much more, because I mean, these are just like 30-second, 40-second videos. And I can't even imagine, what guys like Ben and Keegan are doing, where they're recording a lot of stuff, whether it's a podcast or, Ben's always recording videos for stuff. Like it makes me appreciate how much they really do. So yeah, it's been eye opening. And then even like as you were talking, it makes me think like once my job does start working with the athletes, I mean, yeah, I'll have those practices won't start till like 3:15 p.m. or so. So I'll have the early part of the day to, do if I'm still doing the uploads like daily. But I have to make sure like I have like a organized schedule, so I'm not falling behind on that. So yeah, there's just so many factors that go into it.
It's great, man. Really relevant stuff today. It's cool. It's good chats today. What did you say? Let's just take those up.
I was just thinking as Tim was talking, and the TikTok link I sent in the chat. There's a guy, content creator called Johnny Tuivasa here in New Zealand.
He's so New Zealand. It's not even funny.
Yeah. So Courtney, my fiance, is a social and digital influencer manager. So she manages TikTok superstars, Instagram superstars, YouTube, like New Zealand talent that have got thousands of followers. And Johnny, who I just sent a link to, some of his videos take him like 3 or 4 days to edit his content because he's just like that higher caliber of stuff. So it was awesome, like hearing you talk about the time commitment you make, Tim, because sometimes I'm like, fuck, like I'm only like 10 minutes into editing something and I'm like, oh, this seems like too long. I must be too slow. But and then something I cast a thought to, and then I sort of figured it out. But I was going to ask about is like the video you did with BJ Kadua and Stefan Holm. The videos that you linked with them. Did you do that by screen recording from a video content, or
yeah? I just found like clips of them on YouTube, like with their training, and I just screen recorded it so then I could upload it.
So that's useful for Nick and Lockie as well. So because I saw that from Tim and I was like, how did he do that? How he like did the edits and he had included other content. So what I realized, and Tim will be able to, I'll ask Tim to explain his process, is that you go and find a video that might have some content that you want to have a snippet of, and you just on an iPhone you screen record it, and then you edit the screen record, and then you splice that into your TikTok clip. So what might be helpful for us, Tim, as you talk about, because that video is really well edited with your voiceover, the splicing and that. So if you could give us some of your process, that would be cool.
Yeah, and
Great question.
Lockie's last video, that's like the perfect format, Lockie, where you have the Jordan Burroughs clip of him shooting the double leg, and it's literally the perfect like ATG like split squat that he's doing. And so, I mean, I will sit down, like, because I find that like the people who are following me, they seem to really like that content where I'll show a movement and then I show like a sporting event or something where they're getting in those same positions. And so I'll sit down some days and I just kind of like, for wrestling, I have like such a huge stockpile in my head in terms of matches I've watched in the past, and I've watched them so many times that I kind of remember the sequences that the guys get into. And I'm sure that's the same with like Nick for like I'm sure there's some BJJ matches that you rewatch every now and then just because they're such amazing matches. And so for wrestling, it's pretty easy in terms of like me being able to find clips, just because for the past 10 years, I've just been like passively taking in all that stuff, even when I wasn't aware of ATG principles. But then for other sports, I really do have to do a little bit more like digging and finding, because I really don't watch many other sports besides wrestling. Like if I'm like at someone's house, like I'll watch a football or a basketball game, but I'm not really watching it too often. So, I mean, I've even done it where like I show my friend a movement and I'm just like on the off chance, I'm like, do you know any like plays in an NFL game where you've seen something like this? And my one buddy who's like a huge NFL fanatic, like he's been sending me clips, and they're of like the best players, obviously, but he'll show me like situations like, oh, is this what you're looking for? So I've had some help from other people, but then other times it's like I literally do just have to sit down and I'll Google like best volleyball players and I'll see what those guys are doing, best football plays, best rugby plays. And I'm just kind of sifting through it and seeing what I can pick out. Because people love the visual examples from their favorite sports.
When I did the Jordan Burroughs double leg takedowns, I typed up in YouTube Jordan Burroughs double leg reel, or like what's that word when you just get repeated clips of
compilation.
Compilations, yeah. I think compilations, and boom, like I literally just had like that. I think it was like a 6-minute video of him
Oh, yeah,
fucking just
days
diving
on
for
days. Yeah.
days on legs, man. Like holy shit. So I found that was really easy to get that piece of content because it was just in that compilation, and I found like I kind of trying to find the best angle and all that kind of stuff rather than trying to search for multiple different videos and trying to do that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love what you did, Tim. I reckon it's great, and I think that's it. Really, well, clearly the analytics tell you that people do enjoy that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because yeah, when I saw that video you had made, like finally popped up on my timeline, I saw it and I was like, yes, this is it. Like if people find this, like they're gonna eat that up.
Yeah, you just made me. I just had that light bulb going off that like I just need to. Right now, what I should be doing is just doing some duets or splices of like Ben's content because I'm already starting. Like I can walk backwards, and then outside of that, I just need to like it's day 2 today, literally. So I just need to film me like doing contractions, straight leg raises, and balancing. Like what better position to be in? Like that's what I've realized on the Instagram. That Instagram is I'm just gonna like each day for accountability. Initially, or just do like ACL diaries, day 2, you know, and just I just
Great
saw
opportunity.
I just had a message like from a guy that's based out West Auckland. He just messaged me and goes, "Holy shit, you're already doing straight leg raises. It took me 12 weeks after my reconstruction to do that." You know, and I had a message from someone else who said they've had 2 ACL surgeries and haven't yet recovered. So that's like 2 people already that are just engaged with the content. So, yeah, I think a successful rehab will be my program. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And your business potentially too.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I thought about, well, and I've sort of said it to you guys before, like, what better way to like have empathy for and credibility or relatability than to walk through this fire myself? Like, it's all well and good saying like, yeah, I've done, I'm ATG qualified, but to say I'm ATG qualified and on the back of an ACL reconstruction, like, I feel like the universe did me a favor on this one, you know, like, like I think that's why I'm so like pumped about it. And so my challenge for this week, actually, gentlemen, is I want to pump the brakes. Like, it's cool that I can walk around with that, but I just want to pump the brakes a little bit. I want to actually just go slower because my recovery pace right now is not it's not realistic to sustain. You know, like it's higher risk, and 2, it's not a representation of what other people will experience either. Like I was always going to do it faster because being able to do those KOT, like that KOT reverse Nordic that I did 2 days before was so I could pass the ATG level 5, you know. I formed that and sent that off to France and said, "Did I pass?" He's like, "Yeah," and I said, "Sweet, now I can go for surgery." You know, but like that's not it's not a fair representation of the general pop. You know, like the other thing I recognize, and it ties in with what we were saying before, like my ability to be able to like have palms to floor or like back of the hands to floor is so massive now because right now I can't actually bend that knee so much, but because I have that bending over ability, I can still stand and put stuff off of the ground. So that's like an interesting dot of connected. So there's a lot to be said for like having those standards, which are the ATG standards. I mean, that palms to floor is level 1, not only from like a longevity perspective, but from an injury mitigation and managing your recovery perspective. You know, like if I didn't have that pike mobility, like when I drop something, I'd be like, fuck, you know, like, but I do have it. And so it's easier. So those are some interesting insights I've had the last few days. But yeah, I want to pump the brakes. That's the thing for this week. I just want to pump the brakes a little bit.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, man, too.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why like Courtney's been giving me the frown like the because I'm going too fast, you know. And she's right, and she is right.
Yeah. Have that natural tendency just to go, like, oh, just had surgery, come on, let's go. I mean, yeah, like I think there's definitely some importance of that, but there's also sometimes there's a time to smell the roses, and maybe this is a good time for you to smell the roses, take some time back for yourself, especially the way the lockdowns, and I think it's very similar to what's happening here in Australia. I think very similar stuff. So it's a great opportunity that you've been provided to actually really, take that step back and just put the feet up for a little bit. And I think a great time for reflection and contemplation.
Yeah, I agree. So,
easy said and done though. Funny that it sounds, but
I like selfishly wouldn't mind if the government extends, because on Tuesday at midnight is the potential to go to level 2, and I'm sort of like, because that means the gym will reopen, but because I'm laid up, I selfishly am all okay with them extending the level 3 restrictions until the end of the school holidays, which would mean like Courtney just messaged and said Jacinda's doing an impromptu press conference at 1 p.m. because yesterday there was like mass protests. And so people think we're going to go into a snap. We might go backwards to level 4. And you know what? Like, for purely selfish reasons, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, and I'm honest about that. For purely selfish reasons, I'm okay with that. But unselfishly, there's other people that need to be set free, you know? So, yeah.
Same thing's happening in New Zealand, dude. Same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Dude, crazy times, man.
Yeah.
China here to rule the world.
Oh, this is going to be a good fight.
Who's fighting them?
Misha Sakunov versus Jotka.
Okay.
He's a beast, this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked.
Holy.
I'm gonna have to watch this once I get back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's everyone's focus for this week? I think I gathered Devon's to actually, probably pump the brakes a little bit, smell the roses, chill out for a little bit.
Actually, my focus. So my challenge is going to be pumping the brakes, but my focus is going to be I've upped the volume of contact sports I'm watching.
Oh, cool.
With a view towards the fact that I might have that interview for that S&C position. So I've just been like, I'm going to watch the NRL grand final today, and just getting my head back into the game that is rugby league, so that when I go in and have that interview, I'm speaking the same language, you know, because
right.
Yeah, that's just what is necessary for me to present my best self, should I get that opportunity.
That's great, dude. All that. Tim, what are you doing, brother? Like, what's going to be, I guess, a little bit of a focus for this week, dude?
I'm gonna do exactly what Devin said and sit down and just kind of be proactive rather than reactive when people reach out to me. Because, I mean, he's like, I've had that thought, but I don't know him. Sometimes you just need another person for me to really just start fucking doing it, instead of being like, or I'll start working on that tomorrow. Because the thing I found was like, the last time I had a video that did really well and there was a few people that reached out to me, like those guys never ended up like hitting me up further for anything. And then I hit a lull again. And I kind of like in my head, I was just like, oh, I don't have to do this right now. Like no people are reaching out to me. But I mean, everything he said is so true. It's like, just sit down and do it. And then even if you're not going to charge them, like I love the idea of like doing like the beta test and just getting results with people and seeing what they're liking about it and what they're not, and just so I can continuously refine it. So when, that one person who does really matter like comes by, I have something that's worth giving and selling.
Mm.
Because I've had a few like I had one NFL player reach out to me, a Major League Soccer player reach out to me, and they were just asking like brief little questions like about technique and stuff. So they weren't really interested in terms of like getting on a program, but I mean, just like what Devin was saying, if I had something more and said and like presented it as, hey man, like if you're trying these exercises, if you want, like I have this like program I'm working on right now, I think they'd be more willing to give it a shot rather than like me just kind of like making it up as I go along with them. Because with those guys, like you really do want to have a solid product, especially for like that high profile of athletes.
The other thing I'd say, Tim, because this is what I did when I was in the hospital, just on the bed. It's way faster, I think, far more personable, and like just it's a better quality product to just set up your camera and film your response. Like, the technique thing that you're asking, bro, you've got great technique, you move well. Like, so when I would encourage you that when those questions come through, because they will have written those questions, send them a video response. They won't expect it. They'll be hell impressed. It gives you an opportunity to showcase the way you move, and just like it's just practice. It's just more practice for your TikToks or whatever. Anyway, it's just content creation, right? So when I was in the hospital bed and the messages were flooding in, I just grabbed the phone and do it. Like I would say, I just do video recording. Hey, how are you? Like, I'm great, and it was seamless rather than like sitting there writing a response. It was so much quicker, bro. It was way better. It's personable. People were like, and the next thing, I just have a video call with them. I must have had like 30 phone calls that day, So
Wow.
I reckon just hit, and that's something that I'm going to take forward. Like when I've got messages coming through now into my Instagram inbox, I'm just responding with like a video. I just like hit record and do like a selfie response. It's way faster. It's way faster, bro. The engagement I've seen from it is like way better. Like people are like, oh man, I didn't expect the video back. I reckon that like that becomes so for all of us actually. That's like a really powerful sell technique. Like, don't worry about typing stuff. And actually, like, credit to Ashley Gass. When I hit her up after an ATG Summit one, she didn't send me a video back, but she sent me a voice recorded messages. So there's two tools that you can use there. So rather than typing, send either a voice recorded message back, which is like, yes, it's not necessarily there for them to go back to again, but it's really personable, and it says that you're willing to connect with them with a voice recorded message or a video message. And I think we'll find, I would say we should all try and employ that and see what impact that has on our engagement and connection.
I like that idea.
I think it's great.
It's funny you say that because I had reached out to one of my friends I haven't talked to in a while, and I just had texted him like just like checking up on him, and he responded with a voice message, and like I don't know why, it just like I appreciated it so much more, like you're saying, because it is so much more personal. Like it was great getting to hear his voice. I hadn't talked to him in a while, and so yeah, what you're saying is spot on. I think people would appreciate that so much more than just a message response.
And the last thing I was going to say, Tim, is like those individuals that reached out to you but haven't like come back, you can go and reconnect with them. Like they're still there, they're still actually across the line. And if you went and like, I want to go so far as to say that if you go and connect with them, it'll be like, you remembered me, like, oh, you remembered me. You know how powerful that is? Because most of us are looking for acknowledgement of existence, followed by inclusion and acceptance. So like, but like the smile or like reaching back out, yeah. Let me know how you go with that one.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that. The video replies are so personal.
Makes me think of dating, and like if you would, I could just see the girl. Oh, and in a way, for potential clients, it's like try like how you're different, and like why they should hire you. You know.
Yeah.
It's very similar. So
Well, actually, like to that point, like we're all we're all got good genetics. We're all got good personalities. We all present well on camera, and it's a fucking strength. So like Tim, I'm sure some of the people that have connected with you would like it'll light up their day to get a personalized message from you. Like so like the old saying of like sex sells or beauty sells or whatever. Like it's fucking true for a reason. So like don't have to be too humble about it. Like use it, because like end of the day, as we've sort of spoken about on here before, like is what kind of life are we building for our kids, and like to what lengths are we willing to go to ensure we're leading a life that our kids would be proud of, and that sets them up for their future. Like if it means you got to like put your beautiful face on the camera, smile, and use your charm, well, where's the harm in that,
Yeah.
Man, you're gonna inspire me to start OnlyFans.
that's next after TikTok.
I've been getting some sun, so it's just going to be only tans,
Fuck, that's great. Good chat, boys. This is great. It's been good, guys. Like we've been fairly consistent with this for when's it? 7, 8 weeks now? 8 weeks? I'll be 8 weeks now. 8 weeks, yeah, it is 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's like you said, like each talk it just gets better and better, and like we're getting more out of it, and that's the big thing.
The highlight of the week, to be honest. Like for me, anyway. Like it's always a highlight. It's always a fucking pleasure hanging out with you dudes. You know what I mean? Always get a lot out of it, and always inspired and upbeat from our conversations. You know what I mean? And really sort of kicks off the week coming ahead.
I got an idea. I got a suggestion that's just come up for for a future presentation or cat call.
Yeah.
What we should each put together a 10-minute presentation. So like I would put together 7 days of ACL recovery. Here's what I've learned. Tim could do 7 weeks of TikTok TikTok deep dive. Here's what I've learned. Lockie could be like doing. Oh, I still want to hear the presentation on your morning club and the rituals that you've done the PDF. Like what's that? And from Nick, I want to hear like 7 months of world champ prep. So because the thing we know that if we're going to become ATG coaches, we've got to do presentations. We've got to refine our presentation skills. If we want to coach other coaches, we've got to work on our presentations. So I'm not saying necessarily for the next call, but it could be. We chunk out the time. So we do 10-minute presentation, 5 to 10 minutes of question time, and then the next person presents. And that'll be a
great idea. Fucking great idea,
call.
Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, man, you're full of ideas today. You might have to get another knee. You might have to get another knee surgery.
Yeah, I don't know. Something did happen in there, bro.
Took you to a magical place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. It's scary, challenging enough to be a little scary, But
For sure.
I look forward to that. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get on that for sure.
All right, so I'm putting my hand up and saying my topic will be in relation to the ACL journey so far. That's what I'm going to present on when we, So Tim, I reckon. Oh man, Tim, why don't you could present on the first attempt at creating your ideal program? You've got 2 things you could do. You could do the TikTok thing, or you could do the, converting TikTok leads into sales or something like that. That'd be cool. Yeah. I think the other thing that you could talk about, Lockie, is talk about, the challenges of relocating and restarting. I think there's got to be some valuable insights there, and it would be like a powerfully reflective journey too. And Nick, bro, I just want Nick. I just want you to keep focusing on the worlds, bro. So anything that's going to help you, like, get ready for that. Let's talk on that.
I love that. Next weekend, dude.
Yeah, let's do it. And the other reason I suggested this as well, Lockie, is like, because something we spoke about last time is how do we promote more or bring more attention to these calls. I think if we do it, do it like that, like Tim's presenting on this, Lockie's presenting on this, Nick's presenting on that, and I'm going to present on this. It's going to bring more traction for you, bro.
That's great. And we can record. We'll record the whole thing, and then I can send it to all the group chats and see if we can. I'll see if I can get to upload it to the Mighty Network as well.
Well, what you could do is record the entire thing, and then when you edit it, new editing challenge it, you can edit each presentation as an individual presentation too. So there's the whole call,
Even better,
and then the individual presentations too.
Yeah, so, even better. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. More than happy to.
Yes. Nice team.
Nice work, dudes. It's been great. Yeah, loving the ideas. I love how everyone's improving their journey. I think everyone's doing amazing, and I'm really looking forward to what happens in October, but also until the end of the year. I think what's 4, 8, 12, so about 12 weeks. 12 weeks, dude. It's a nice little maybe I guess maybe not a question to answer now, but definitely for next week's call is definitely to contemplate on what do I want to get done by the end of 12 weeks, which will take me to the end of the year. What are you looking to achieve? What's some unrealistic goals that you feel that I probably need more time, but like, hey, let's see if I can get it done this year. Definitely have to start contemplating on those and see what we can do to capitalize on every single day until the end of the year.
That's a good shout. Good shout. All right. There we go.
Thanks, boys. It's been great.
Awesome team.
Always.
Talk.
Thanks for joining in. It's been awesome.
Have an awesome week, gentlemen, and we'll talk soon.
Talk really soon.
You too. Heal up. Heal up.
Heal up, boys.